I am a coach, retired from the corporate world, 34 years, been coaching for 10 years. I help people to separate their work identity from who they truly are, so they don't get caught up in just the identity that's chasing achievement. And so the problem with that identity is it can become an addiction, becoming a workaholic, and then we lose what's most valuable, which is our internal intuition, our feelings. We stop prioritizing our feelings. We feel that they're not valuable to us. So that's kind of who I am, is I help people to really get into who they are and have fun with work. It's not a pressure thing.
I am a coach with Pro Advisor Coach. I help people to uncover the deeper meaning of their work and their existence. I like working with people who feel like they're on the hamster wheel, just constantly running and running and running. And when they slow down and we hold space for these deeper, more meaningful, impactful conversations, they really get to think about what it is that they actually want and start asking and even demanding and commanding what they actually want and having fun along the way. The idea is that we get to leverage their greatest gifts, the things they do unique that other people do not do, that oftentimes we start with our business and then sometimes we get away from that, or we feel like we have to conform to something else. So my coaching gives the permission to get back to what is fun, what is exciting, and what really leverages people's greatest strengths in what they're doing.
Yeah, the tyranny of the ego is we get stuck and we start protecting ourselves. We're not being our true selves. We're trying to be somebody we're not, and that the ego can get in the way. So think of it as flow, right? When we're in flow state, whether you're an athlete or you do something creatively, being in the flow is there's no control. You're able to use all your senses and you're able to react accordingly, and it's fun and it's free and it's relaxing. It's actually calming. The ego is trying to control. And whenever you try to control anything, it creates an opposite reaction that's not good. So the idea here is to have some ability to have a strategy, so you can realize, okay, this is when my ego is starting to affect me negatively. How do I create strategies to help put my ego aside and really be in this flow state? And this applies to everything. It applies to what you do for work. It applies to your relationships. It applies to whatever you do for hobbies.
I like to think of this course, The Tyranny of the Ego, in the form of the AAA approach. So the AAAs are awareness, action, and achievement. So awareness, just what is the ego? How do we identify it? How does it cause destruction? How does it sabotage my life? How do I identify when I'm in my ego form? The action would be, okay, now that we've identified it, what do I do about it? What are the proper techniques? How do I address it? How do I get back to a version of what I might call my higher self or my power, where I'm in my state of flow? And then achievement, how am I measuring how I'm doing with it? How exactly am I coming back to making sure that I don't fall back into my ego? Or if I do, how am I identifying it even after I've understood it and start to conquer it? One thing I've learned about the ego is that it's a master at disguising and camouflaging itself. And so the work that I've done has been to identify all the ways that it masters and camouflages and can come back to bite us. So I think in terms of the AAA approach.